Ciao ragazzi, eccoci stasera con una nuova chiacchierata per far la conoscenza con un altro dei protagonisti della prossima Red Bull XAlps 2025. Attesissima 12ª edizione della più appassionante gara di Hike and Fly al mondo. Quest'anno FIVL con i suoi canali e con il sottoscritto è stata invitata formalmente e accreditata come media press nella competizione. Quindi saremo presenti nei giorni preparatori allo start, durante la gara e poi durante lo svolgimento saremo di nuovo live con i teams, i piloti, gli organizzatori che man mano avranno modo di collegarsi con noi. Ok, siamo pronti? Questa sera non indugiamo oltre, siamo pronti per parlare con...
My name is Ondrej Prochazka, and it's a privilege to be part of the Red Bull XAlps 2025. I'm super excited to be able to cross the Alps with all the other athletes.
Ok, siamo con Ondrej Prochazka questa sera. Ondrej, 39 anni, Czech Republic, è un veteran perché ha già fatto la gara 2 anni fa. Quindi, hello Ondrej, welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Good. So we see that you are still training a lot, eh?
Yeah, the last 2 years I haven't stopped much training. Of course, there's some moments where I had work or where I was on a travel, but in the last 2 years, since the last XAlps, I tried to put pretty much everything aside and do everything to get better in every aspect, like we all want, like all the fellow athletes as well as fellow people on this planet. We're always striving to be better in whatever we do.
Yeah, sure. Ondrej, you are a very famous and skilled acro pilot. How comes this love for Hike and Fly?
I loved hike and fly even at the times when I was doing a lot of acro. So when I was competing in acro, I still did hike and fly, and those years when I was focusing mostly on acro on my personal competitive, let's say, career stage, I was those years 2013, 2015, 2017, I was working together with Aaron. We were doing the XAlps race together. So as a matter of fact, it hasn't been a big shift or a big change. It was just that acro was a very special moment for me, and it was a love as much as any other kind of flying. But it's very hard to focus on all these disciplines on the competitive stage. So I think it's very hard to compete in acro and at the same time compete, let's say, in hike and fly. The reason is simple, because to be able to compete in acrobatics on the highest level, you basically need to invest around 500, 600, 700 hours of airtime every year into training. And, you know, the precision, to understand the precision at which the highest acrobatic scene is flying at is insane, and it's impossible without full dedication, full training. So basically you need to do these 500 plus hours of acrobatic training to be able to be competing for the podium. And that's a lot of airtime. And so now obviously I still fly a lot of acro, comparing with flying now no acro. So I think I fly between 50 to 100 hours of acro in the last years, every year still. And I keep on training basically the stuff that I know. I kind of more than anything enjoy acro flying, so I keep on flying acro. So 50 to 100 hours, but it's not 500, 600, 700 hours like before.
Yeah, I understand. And I believe that anyway, the acro school for Hike and Fly in competition like this is very important, because you get to know your wing really like your pocket. So you are able maybe to go out when the conditions are not perfect.
Yeah, I think not just for hike and fly competition, but for any pilot. Acrobatic skills are very good to get a good feeling for the wing, be it basic skills like full stall helicopter training or being more advanced, obviously. So yeah, it's very beneficial, and for the safety in those unusual moments when things are just very rough and when it can happen if you are flying very turbulent air and very aggressive lee side areas, that you might eventually need these skills. So I'm happy for all this evolution that has been natural in my case, going through this phase of flying a lot of acro, all the way to be here. I've flown quite a lot in the last weeks in some pretty crazy air, and yeah, I was 2-3 times happy for my acro skills.
Right. So, Ondrej, what do you think about the route of this year? Very long, crossing the Alps up and down 4 times, the free Via Ferrata. So, what do you think about it?
It's amazing. I really love this route. I really love the kind of the course, like the 8, kind of like the infinite, the X or whatever you may call it. I was not expecting it. That was also one really nice part about it. So I think that was really, yeah, I think it was a really nice decision. I have to say that apart from the fact that the route is amazing, it's also very difficult. So it's not that it would be much longer, but with all these Via Ferratas, and the signings on the way, it's easy to lose time. We have 12 days for this thing, and if the weather will not be perfect, plus these events on the way, imagine that you have to do the Via Ferrata at midday. I think could be a couple hours. So let's say you spend 3 hours doing a Via Ferrata, and that in a good flying day means 90 kilometers straight line air distance. So yeah, that's quite a lot of kilometers. So I think it could be a very tricky thing to have these Via Ferratas there. It's not that much of like sport extreme hard thing to do, but I think it's very tricky if you're there at the wrong moment. If you come there maybe 6-7 in the evening and you manage to do it before the end of the day, and maybe you might have to sleep on a hut in the mountain, that will be really beautiful. If you come there below the Via Ferrata in the very end of the day and you do it very early in the morning, 4-5 in the morning, that's going to be really amazing. We all hope for that, obviously. But if you're going to be coming there and it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that could be just a day or two behind another athlete who might have been there in the morning. So this is a typical XAlps thing where things can shuffle fast and the position of an athlete can change fast. You might be in front, but you come to the Via Ferrata in the wrong moment and the ones behind you catch you up, or vice versa, you're there in the right moment and you extend your lead, so to say.
Yeah, it's true. And I don't know if it is the same feeling you have, but I saw it also in, for example, the Dolomiti Superfly or the Born to Race and the XAlps last time. It's like watching a Formula One race. I mean, all the pilots are there. Yeah. So many are able to be in front.
Yeah. I think the level of hike and flies is skyrocketing nowadays, and many people are coming into the sport actually more from like trail running and these kind of events, because thanks to these hike and fly competitions, some observers in the last years, they have seen the Red Bull XAlps race, and they might have not been like flying yet even, and it became a dream because they were trail runners. They're coming from this part of the sport, and actually I think hike and fly generally for the industry, for paragliding, is an amazing opportunity to actually give our sport a boost in the amount of pilots, and obviously the industry is gonna be, it's necessary, that the manufacturers are selling their equipment. So I think hike and fly has the strongest future from all of the disciplines. Obviously acro is interesting as well because it's kind of like a freestyle thing. It's great for young guys who want to do something where they feel maybe adrenaline. But I think hike and fly mountain sport, there's so many people wanting to run, hike, and be in the mountains and just fly down. And I think that's gonna really, that this is gonna be growing, and we see it on the amount of competitions. There's competitions all around the world. In Brazil, there's a big movement in hike and fly. Everywhere in the world we see competitions popping up, like we had one in Greece, in Turkey, I think as well, in Turkey, if I remember correctly. So I think that's gonna be really, really cool. And like you said, the level is amazing. Like, for example, the amount of French pilots that are capable of doing good performance in Red Bull XAlps is really like big, and Swiss, and I mean many countries. So it's soon going to be harder and harder to get inside a race like Red Bull XAlps. It's a dream for many of us, and so it's really beautiful to be part of this history.
Absolutely, yes. Ondrej, how did you organize your team?
So my team is going to be very, very similar like last time. And so, as a matter of fact, it has benefits because we know each other. And well, what to say? There's maybe going to be one change in one of my supporters that has been more like the having the role of being the strategical part with the computer work and with information gathering. What that means is like obviously now in this time, comparing like 2013, 15, 20, 12 years ago, we didn't have really cool applications like the burn air map, where you can have access to weather stations in one place and you can check the weather in live, where you have a lot of important information that we need during flying, especially when the days are tricky. But still, the role of like supporting an athlete through information that is available on the internet, that you can even nowadays check while flying, but you also need to concentrate during flying. So it's really great that you have a dedicated supporter that is keeping track of thunderstorms, the movement, where is the rain, where it isn't, what is the wind, is it increasing. So I'm doing these things obviously when I'm flying alone on my own, but having a supporter for this is great. So the supporter who is doing this was last time on the way in the car with us. And for this year, I decided that it would be much smarter if this person is going to be in the, so to say, fixed headquarter. So he's going to be having access to this, to the internet, obviously, that is always going to be working. Whereas if you're sometimes in the car, you might have a spot where there's wrong coverage. And also there is much more stress throughout the race for this person. Whereas if this person is in the comfort of his home, in his own rhythm, in his place, then there is less stress and he will perform the same work. He doesn't have to really be there in the car as a, let's say, a physical supporter. He can be, so to say, an online support. So this is kind of like the only change. There's going to be a physiotherapist, Aaron, which did a great job last time and wants to be part of the race as well. So this is so the team will be more or less stable, and or is stable. And I think last time, as a matter of fact, the team has been working great. So yeah, there wasn't like really a problem because of the team.
Right. And Ondrej, it's what are you doing when you are not flying? You have other passion or you have a job to follow?
I am a full-time pilot. So I mean, throughout the years, and also my ideology in life is to have a lot of diversity. So obviously I have a company where I do tandem flights. So basically that's, so to say, one of my main jobs, but I've been also working on product development. I've been working on an acro wing. I've had various projects, sponsors, also family. And so basically, yeah, I have quite a lot of ideas and projects in my mind still that have never gotten realized because I don't have enough time. So at the moment, I am really devoting quite pretty much all my effort into this event. And yeah, there's not much time apart from that. And then when the race is over, I will have some tandem flying obviously coming up, but probably in July family time. And so yeah, at the moment the XAlps have taken over all everything.
Everything, right. Okay. Ondrej, I have one last question for you that I ask to all the pilots. Somebody say maybe flying at sunset or maybe flying with an eagle or whatever. The magic moment in flying, in paragliding, which is your magic moment in flying?
It's a really good question. As a matter of fact, I'm living so many magic moments I mean, you could say almost every flight. There's sometimes flights where you don't have big expectations and you go far and you just feel like a bird. It has been an amazing 1.5, 2 decades of discovering the air, and the amount of magic moments, be it like you mentioned, flying with a vulture just a couple months back in Colombia in the Andes was a really special moment. The Andes vultures are unfortunately very close to extinction. So it's a dream of many local people to even see a condor. I mean, it's a condor.
Yeah.
So these birds are really big, wingspan around 3 meters. And I wasn't there in this area for the reason of chasing a condor, but I was on a flight towards a glacier. It's a very special glacier because it's in the tropics. And I was thermaling actually very early in the morning, around 11 in the morning at 5,500 meters. And all of a sudden I see below me a condor. And then it was probably a couple. There were two. And then slowly we got together and it was a very special moment. So these are definitely very special moments. In general, flying with birds of all kinds can be very special somehow, at least for me, and I think even for other pilots. And I definitely, indeed, sunset is a very special moment for me to fly, especially when those sunsets come after a whole day in the air. So I think these are some of the most special moments when you are 8, 9, 10 hours in the air and then you get a sunset and you're gliding into the sun for the finish of the flight, and it just feels so much of a relief in a certain way, because you just kind of feel all these hours of hard work that has been put into the flight. Sometimes the flights are not easy to survive in the air, especially in the Brazilian flatlands, and then you've got the sunset in front of you. So this is definitely a great moment, and I had a lovely sunset just 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I was flying from Switzerland to Austria till the sunset, it was another magical moment. So yeah, I think every flight that is coming is magical, and it's really hard to pick one. Yeah, that would be kind of the summary.
Yeah, absolutely, yes. Yeah, I remember reading your notes on the XAlps, and they said Ondrej is a pilot which really, let's say, gives power to the talking and to the people around. And really, from this interview, we can say absolutely this. So I will be in Kitzbühel. We're waiting for the start, and I would like to say hello to you in person, because you are a very nice person to be with. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll see us there. I would like to share one little message to all the people following and listening and looking at your show, that I think is really important to do what we do, whatever it is. If we fly, and have fun and do it with pleasure. I am flying really a lot. I think I did like 100 hours in the last 3 weeks, and this season I did 450 at least, or maybe 500 hours of flying. And you could always say, wow, that's kind of maybe too much. Are you doing it because you want it, or are you training because you have to train because of the XAlps? And as a matter of fact, I do it because I love it. And if I wouldn't love it, I wouldn't be doing it. At least this is the way how I live my life. I always try to do things that I love. And I think it's very important that we follow our dreams as people, as humans, and we do things from our heart without being forced. And we're trying, each one of us are very individual. Humans are very individual. So I think it's very important, if we look at another person, if somebody's looking at my life, well, you can copy my life, but you should still try to make it in a way that you enjoy it and that you love it. And some people love to fly an hour and it's enough. That's great. Some people like me, I love to fly 10 hours. It's demanding, but I just love it. So I think it's really important to find your way and live your life and enjoy your life. And if you love flying, then sure, for all of you that love flying, like flying, to follow this passion, it's going to make us free and happy.
Yeah, this is very nice that you say that. Thank you very much for saying this. Thank you.
Have a great evening, Rinaldo, and see you in Kitzbühel.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Bye. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.